The mysterious treasure box. In the picturesque village of Willowbrook, summer was a season of adventure for the Anderson cousins. Alex, Emma, Ben, and Lily looked forward to their annual vacation at their grandfather Joe's charming farmhouse every year. The farm, with its sprawling fields, old barn, and ancient oak tree, was the perfect playground for their wild imaginations. This summer, however, promised to be more exciting than usual. Grandpa Joe had recently discovered an old, mysterious chest in the attic. It was a beautifully carved wooden box, sealed tight with an intricate lock. Grandpa Joe, with a twinkle in his eye, handed the chest over to the cousins. "I don't remember ever seeing this before," Grandpa Joe said. "Maybe you kids can figure out what's inside." The cousins, fueled by curiosity and a sense of adventure, eagerly accepted the challenge. They spent hours inspecting the chest, but despite their best efforts, they couldn't figure out how to open it. The lock was stubborn, and there was no key in sight. "This chest must hold some kind of secret," Emma declared. "We've got to find that key." Lily, always the detail-oriented one, suggested, "Let's look around the farmhouse. Maybe there's a clue hidden somewhere." The cousins spent the next few days searching every corner of the farmhouse. They sifted through old drawers, peered behind dusty curtains, and even questioned the chickens, who, of course, had no useful information. Their search yielded no results, but their enthusiasm only grew stronger. One evening, while enjoying a picnic in the garden, the cousins overheard an interesting conversation between two villagers, Mr. Tibbins and Mrs. Fernsby. They were discussing a series of recent mysterious thefts in the village, including some old coins and valuable antiques. "Strange things have been happening lately," Mrs. Fernsby said, her voice filled with concern. "I wonder if someone is trying to hide stolen goods." Mr. Tibbins nodded. "It wouldn't surprise me. I've heard rumors about a hidden stash of valuables somewhere in the village." The cousins exchanged glances, their detective instincts kicking in. "What if the chest is connected to these thefts?" Alex suggested. "Maybe someone's trying to hide something valuable from Grandpa." Determined to get to the bottom of the mystery, the cousins decided to launch their own investigation. They started by observing the village's residents, hoping to catch someone in the act of suspicious behavior. They staked out various locations, including the old well, the town square, and Mr. Tibbins' house, but found no solid leads. One afternoon, while exploring the overgrown hedges near Mr. Tibbins' property, Ben stumbled upon a peculiar sight, a freshly dug hole hidden under some branches. He called the others over, and they all examined the hole, which appeared to be recently disturbed. "This looks like a hiding spot," Lily said. "Maybe someone's been burying stolen goods here." The cousins decided to investigate further. They carefully dug around the hole, hoping to find something valuable. Their efforts were rewarded when they unearthed a small, dusty box buried beneath the dirt. It was similar in size and appearance to the chest they had found in the attic. Excitedly, they opened the box and found a collection of old coins and antique jewelry inside. The items matched the descriptions of the stolen goods mentioned by Mrs. Fernsby. "This must be it," Emma exclaimed. "We found the hidden stash." But their triumph was short-lived. As they were inspecting the contents of the box, they heard footsteps approaching. Panicking, they quickly buried the box again and hid behind the hedges. To their surprise, it was Mr. Tibbins who emerged from the trees. He looked around cautiously before bending down and retrieving the box they had just uncovered. He didn't notice the cousins hiding nearby and quickly made his way back to his house. The cousins were stunned. "Mr. Tibbins is the thief," Alex said. "We need to prove it and get this stuff back to Grandpa." They knew they had to act quickly. They decided to follow Mr. Tibbins and gather evidence. That evening, they sneaked into Mr. Tibbins' garden, where they saw him carefully placing the box back into a hidden compartment beneath a loose floorboard in his shed. "We've got to show Grandpa Joe," Ben said. "But we need to make sure Mr. Tibbins doesn't notice we're onto him." The cousins concocted a plan. They decided to stage a fake treasure hunt, using the old journal they had found in the attic. They would create a series of clues that would lead them to Mr. Tibbins' shed and the hidden stash, all while making sure Grandpa Joe knew about their discovery. The next day, the cousins gathered Grandpa Joe and presented their findings from their fake treasure hunt. They made it seem like they had uncovered an old map leading to hidden treasure. Grandpa Joe, amused and intrigued, followed them as they discovered the hidden compartment in Mr. Tibbins' shed. Mr. Tibbins, who had been watching from his window, grew increasingly nervous as the cousins and Grandpa Joe approached his shed. He tried to act nonchalant, but couldn't hide his anxiety. The cousins carefully maneuvered around him, making sure he didn't catch on to their true intentions. As Grandpa Joe opened the compartment and found the stolen goods, Mr. Tibbins couldn't maintain his composure any longer. He admitted to his crimes, explaining that he had taken the items to hide them away and hoped no one would notice. Grandpa Joe, though disappointed, was grateful for the cousins' detective work. "I should have known there was something off about Mr. Tibbins. Thank you all for your cleverness and determination." The stolen items were returned to their rightful owners, and Mr. Tibbins faced the consequences for his actions. The village was grateful to the cousins for solving the mystery and recovering the stolen treasures. As summer came to a close, the Anderson cousins enjoyed a well-deserved celebration. Grandpa Joe threw a grand party in their honor, complete with games, delicious food, and a special tribute to their detective skills. The story of their summer adventure became a cherished memory, one that would be told and retold at family gatherings for years to come. The cousins had not only enjoyed a thrilling vacation, but had also proven that with creativity, teamwork, and a bit of cunning, even the trickiest mysteries could be solved. And so, as the leaves began to turn and school approached, the Anderson cousins looked forward to their next adventure, knowing that their summer of solving mysteries had prepared them for whatever challenges lay ahead.